I lose it all, and then I'm on the street.
It says Memphis about hell, you only 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's where my buddy goes, Tunica.
Memphis is a little closer, actually. I mean, there's hotels right there off 78 and Olive Branch, Joe.
Yeah, that's the two that Maddie put
Oh,
on.
okay. I know. I heard Olive Branch before.
Yeah. We're all right there.
Bet.
Hey, if they're watching on YouTube, they'll get to your wedding's at. Kind of.
Yeah. No, well, we hadn't started in before he said the wedding, but yeah, they'll know it's fine. They won't crash it. I assume most people listening to this are probably going. So
yeah, if you're a loyal dude, hey, show up. Fuck it.
Don't show up.
Yeah, come on.
Don't show up. I'll still love you.
How we been this week, dudes? I feel like we haven't talked in a long time for some reason.
Yeah,
it's just been a week.
It's been so hot. I haven't been able to even go outside with my team this week because it's been so hot. Like, I mean, obviously I would want them to go outside, but legally, because Z might know about this in Georgia, either last year or the year before that, a kid died at a football practice because he overheated or whatever. And
heat stroke.
Yeah. And 2 coaches are getting put in jail for manslaughter. So they're like really cracking down on it this year.
We had to do that shit at Union if it was too hot.
Yeah.
We had to go inside.
Yeah. So we have like an app that every Mississippi coach has to get. And if it says it's too hot, then we can't go out. Yeah. And it's projected to be too hot all week to go out. It's like the type of heat that's here. Huh?
Next 2 days are going to be hotter than it's been this week.
Yeah, it's like you step outside and it just engulfs you. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Like I like it to be hot, but it's like almost legitimately like walking into a sauna right now.
Bro, this is the first summer I think being full-time working or whatever, which last summer I was too, but I was kind of still new. Sign me up for cold weather. I'm out. Yeah. I'm tapping. Submission, I'm done. I love the pool, love the lake, the beach. I'm out. Can't fucking do it.
Yeah, it's too hot.
It's hot as fuck.
It's miserable. Today it was like 95 at like 1, and it was like felt like 111.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's good, but once it hits this peak, I think these next 2 weeks it's going to slowly but surely start going down. Hopefully.
I checked it earlier today. We got a chance for next Saturday morning to be a little crispy for week 1 down here in the city. I don't know where everybody else is at. It's like low of 62, I think, next Saturday projected, which, hey, sign me up. High's only 90. That's sad to say, but I will take that.
Yeah.
What else has been up? I was sick as an absolute dog Monday and Tuesday and Sunday night. Kind of probably still sound a little weird.
No, you're good. You're good. I haven't been up to much. Just getting ready for this. For 2 to become 1.
Wow. What a way to put it. Wow. Count down the days, huh? What are we at? Yep. We're like, what, 20 days, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
The teens.
It's getting there for sure.
Yeah, if you want the address of Joe's wedding, just stay here till the end of the episode. I'm going to drop it. No, the man's getting married. Hey. In football season, we're going to bring that up every episode. But hey, if one guy can do it, it's Joe G.
Yeah, I try to not do it in conference play, so I'm trying to get it done, get it out of there. And
I'll give you a tip of the cap. I'll give you that. I'll give you the tip of the cap. I got one guy, and we'll bury him. He goes by the name Dylan Marsh, friend of the pod. This bastard is getting married. I think like week 9. Just got an invitation for a stock the bar party week 4. Got him a text, said, hey, stock the bar party sounds great. I'm not coming unless I get remote. So a way around it, brother.
I know. The more that I used to be like, why are they having this during the football season or whatever season? But now I've realized during the planning and stuff, you just become a yes man.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I'll probably for sure. Like Vic was talking earlier, and she was like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to propose sometime. Like, don't worry about it. She was like, honestly, just wait till like next spring now because she's like, we got to get married in the spring anyway. It's because your only request is no football wedding. I was like, yeah. She said,
Yeah,
well, I'm not getting married when it's freezing or burning hot, so we're getting married in spring.
that's fair.
So as long as it's
Perfect.
not football season, it doesn't matter. I'm fine. I'm open. You can pick.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't
I'm
make
not
it like
saying
a point, I guess. I could have made it a point, but I was just kind of ready
I
to
still wouldn't
knock
work
it
because
out.
all my buddies are like more into hunting, I'd say, and I feel like
Right.
every one of them so far that are die-hard hunting are getting married during hunting season.
Yeah.
They just can't control it. Girls love fall weddings.
Hey, it is what it is. I don't know how chilly it's gonna be. Probably be sweating out there, but it's gonna be all right.
Your wedding will somehow probably feel like 107, I'd say. Just somehow it's gonna be like 65 all week,
Yeah,
and it's the hammer come down.
that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Hey, enough with the wedding talks. We don't want to make anyone too miserable here. We don't want Joe to think about it too hard. He can still pull out. Uh, we got football Saturday. We got football Saturday. Hey, there's no need to keep your head in the gutter every time I get to going, G.
No, I
I
just
know
didn't
where
want to
you went
interrupt
with
you.
pull out. I know where you went with pulling out. I get it.
No, I wasn't. No, it wasn't
Yeah.
like that. I was just laughing. Like I'm not gonna. We don't have to worry about me backing out now. But I did catch it, but I wasn't laughing at that. I promise.
Yeah.
You do let them ride though. Like there's
Hey,
probably a couple every episode. I'm like,
hey,
oh,
not
he
much I
tried to
won't
be.
let ride these days, huh? Not much I won't let ride. Parlay, a four after a late night at the bar, whatever rides. But week 0, I hate to be the guy because I'm as college football as it can get, I think. I mean, this is a dog shit week 0 the more I looked
I
at it.
hate week 0.
Dude, it's horrible. And the
I'd rather
first
just
game not
wait.
till 1:30. Like they could have mixed in that Jacksonville State UTEP game at 11. Just give
Yeah.
us something on the TV. I think that's my biggest complaint. And I'm not gonna complain much because we're almost single digits away from the big boys playing. We're 3 days away from week 0 in general. But damn, to not sneak an 11 a.m. on your week 0, like that's criminal. It's criminal. So we got some little fun activities we're going to do for everybody. Before we're going to lead off diving into week 0. GP, we're not going to sell these people short, though. Spin the track for them. We'll be right back. Z, where do we want to start? We thought they were a wagon last year. They were a wagon. Utah got in the way, but we want to talk a little USC 30-point favorite. What
Yeah, we can start there.
What's Lincoln Riley's goal for this game? I told a buddy, I think he's going to try to hang 60.
Think so?
I don't know, dude. I think they're just score, score, score. They
Oh,
know.
they are. They are. Let's score as fast as we can and see if we can score more than the other team. Obviously, that's going to be their motto the whole year. I think they'll get up big early. Like betting wise, I don't think I'm going to touch it. I looked at the first half at like minus 18, but then it's like if they come out, a little slow, just with those like first game jitters or just trying to work stuff out, and it's a 17-7 first quarter. I mean, 18's not an easy number, and 18's not a number, not a football number. And I'm a football number guy. So, I mean, they should roll them, but I'm just not going to go. I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, there he comes.
To avoid betting every week 0 game just to do it. 30.5, just looking at it, I don't. There's not many that I'm going to take. I like one, but for sure. But
So let's touch that. I mean, let's be honest. Every pod, every TV show, whatever it is that covers sports, the gambling's based a lot. Like a lot of it's talked about nowadays in the last 4 or 5 years. I'd say spreads talked about over under. This year, we're going to try to be a little more disciplined bettors. Are you on that boat as well? I heard you not trying to touch every week 0 just cause. So are you trying to
I
limit?
don't like week 0 to begin with, so I'm not just going to
week 0, week 1's never. You're not going in blind, but let's be honest, you don't have any film, right?
Yeah, there'll be certain stuff that I think's gettable early on that maybe Vegas is either putting too much love on or not enough love on. And certain over unders there in the first couple weeks, and just teams that aren't going to be shown a lot of love that I'll play with. But the week 0 slate, I mean, There's nothing really that stands out
Hey, I
except
got
for
one. I got one. I got some bread and the crumbs for you.
I got one that I'm gonna take for sure.
And I may have dropped a little hint on it, right? Talking about that 11 a.m. game. Jacksonville State, baby, coming into the FBS, 9-2 last year, could score some points. Started, I think UTEP was favored by like 2.5, maybe. It got down to a pick 'em yesterday. Now it's back UTEP a little bit. If you don't think I'm sprinkling a little coin on the old Jacksonville State, hey, home of Riley Green country sing. I don't know how many country fans we got out there. Riley Green quarterback there. Jacksonville State want to make a little presence, right? Coming to FBS. So I that's my bread and the crumbs. I don't know where you going. Are we talking Notre Dame game or no?
No, that was my game, except I'm on UTEP.
Oh, that's how we start week 0. Hey,
Yeah.
this pod's gonna be home to a winner, baby.
Yeah, that was my game. Yeah, I favor UTEP a lot when I bet on certain lines. Um, they don't cover nearly as much on the road though, so that's what does scare me. But um,
The Miners.
I just like betting UTEP, man. I think they run the ball really well. They get a little trick plays in there. They run a lot of jet sweep type of stuff, and I think they can go out there and hit Jacksonville State in the mouth.
Hey,
But
let's
you never
bookmark
know.
this one. We're gonna have a winner. We're gonna have a winner week 0. This pod's not going over because first game of the year, little
Yeah,
bread and crumbs. We got two guys that are torn. Hey, and these two guys talking don't know much about the Miners and Jacksonville State. Let's call a spade here. But had to sprinkle a little something, a little wisdom. Man, the only 3 other games, and we touched a little USC.
I think I have 3 bets total that I'll give out.
Okay, do we got anything Navy Notre Dame?
No, not touching it.
So Navy Notre Dame, obviously, we'll just talk about it for a second. I don't know. I would say right now getting sprinkled as the biggest is Vandy Hawaii, but they're also below average teams going at it, in my opinion. Notre Dame, it's nice to see a top 15 team play in USC and Notre Dame, but both of them being Notre Dame 3 touchdown favorite, USC 30-31, whatever it's bouncing at. Notre Dame, they just to cover that they got to make sure they have the ball enough. Like Navy's
Yeah.
going to control all the Army, Navy, Air Force, they all control time of possession, it seems like. So that's I'm in the same boat as that one. Like I just don't love it. Right. And it's close to a football number, but that first half's got to be around 12, 13, I'd say.
Yeah, I got it right here. It's
Could be
12.
11, 12.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't hate that actually at 12. I don't hate them being up 2 touchdowns at half. But like I said, they just got to make sure they have the ball enough.
I don't either. I think
And they got to
honestly,
score.
maybe if they run the ball a lot, but
Yeah, they got to be able to score it when they do have it. Where are you going though, bet 2 wise?
San Diego State minus 2.5.
San Diego. What they got Ohio? Is that right? Shit.
Yeah.
San Diego State -2 versus Ohio. All right. You got any riddle behind it?
I just think San Diego State's the better team. That's pretty much it.
Hey, I'll take it.
I like the number. I don't think Ohio is very good. I think San Diego State's got more talent on the offensive side of the ball, and they recruit much better. So I'll play San Diego State.
So if you're not Hawaii Vandy game, or are you?
Yeah, Vandy.
I was gonna say it had to be that or the La Tech FIU game.
Yeah, Vandy first half minus 10.
10 flats. What is that?
10 flat. Yeah.
I looked at
I like Vandy's. I think Vandy's a sleeper team in the SEC, not to like win the SEC, but to be better than
right.
they have been in previous years. And I just don't think they're getting love here against the Hawaii team, who has proven year after year that they're not very good.
Man, and last year, what did
Vandy's
Vandy
got some talented dudes, especially on offense.
What was that score last year, week 0, when Vandy went out to Hawaii? They beat the shit out of them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, let me see.
Check that out. But either way, it's Hawaii on the, everyone has that little myth, kind of like you said, and every year it gets proven or people say it. But the last couple years, people on the road at Hawaii hasn't held up great. I think last year that was that head coach's first year. And now
They
you got
beat them
Hawaii.
63-10.
Yeah, and that's at Hawaii. And yeah. Vandy went. I remember Vandy went like a week and a half early, and these guys were treating it like, "Hey, yeah, we're going to the Bahamas or we're going to Hawaii for a week," and then just so happened to beat them by 50. at
Yeah.
Hawaii. Now they're coming to Vandy. I know Vandy's got the commotion, the stadium's not finished and all that, but I'm like you. I'm not gonna. You can't say they're a sleeper in the SEC, right? Because they're not gonna make any noise in there. But like they're gonna handle these non-cons, I think, pretty fine. I think they're gonna
They
do second
should.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Vandy as well, so we can put us in the same boat for that. Got to dive in a little bit more on La Tech FIU, but I think I like La Tech. I think they're just a more physical team, kind of in the same boat as you were saying, San Diego State and Ohio. La Tech
Yeah,
kind of,
that game's not till 9 Eastern, so I may see what happens and then
yeah, we might see what kind of,
go on whatever
if we're
side.
sitting green or red. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but I mean, look, end of the day, there's football on, right? That's about the best way to say it. And it's fun. We'll get to watch a little USC and they'll be a little flashy. Notre Dame, see how well they're doing it. There'll be two fan bases that are overreacting because they win by, 20, 30, 40 points, whatever it may be. But, I mean, I think the La Tech game can be, somewhat competitive. Vandy, just see what they're working with, an SEC team. So, hey, we got football on at the end of the day. Like I said, we're trying to make this episode something. It's probably not going to be the longer ones. Week 0, we're looking for bread and the crumbs. Do got a couple more little activities. I mean, these two are going to be more fun than talking week 0, for being honest. Right? We got a whole slate for week 1 the next week. Have everything broken down. Probably pick out, I don't know, 8 games a week. I feel like something like that's pretty decent. Mention some other games, but ever since I asked this question last week, I'm curious to see which way we all go. I think G's gonna have one that jumps off the paper. I would assume Z probably does. I don't really. My 3 are pretty basic, I would say, but I also would kill for them. We're going top 3 college football players of all time to ever put on, for me, the maroon and white. For G to step foot in Oxford, lace them up for the Rebels, and Z Dog, the old Georgia Tech. Let's see what we got. Who wants to lead her off? I got an easy one. That's
I
probably
got
on
an
the
easy one.
lead us off with the easy one, Z.
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush. Hey, Z Dog throwing it back a little older than me.
Reggie Bush is one of my most favorite players of all time. He's one of the first players that like made me fall in love with college football. I remember watching that USC Texas game as a little kid and just loving Reggie Bush and everything he did, how good he was, all his highlight tapes. I had sports cards of him. And yeah, my most coveted, my white whale of a signed jersey is the red USC number 5 Bush jersey.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, that would be my first one, would be Reggie Bush, which I would say one of the better college football players of all time did
Yeah.
happen to go to Georgia Tech was Calvin Johnson.
Hey, had to throw that in there. Much
Just saying.
respect. Man, I think with you saying that about Reggie Bush, and I don't think I really realized it until you just said that, honestly probably made me fall in love with it a little bit. I remember NCAA 06.
Mm-hmm.
I would just go fed with this number 5 running back, but obviously all the shit going on didn't say R. Bush.
Yeah.
Who knows what his name was? Probably fucking
It
Derek.
was just number. It was just RB number 5.
Yeah. So yeah, Reggie Bush icon. Still hashtag my Heisman. Can't take it away.
Yeah.
What a dude. What a dude. Jeefy, who's your number 1 wishing would a touchdown in Oxford and play for the Rebs?
It's hard just because obviously there's so many like one of my favorite players of all time is Odell Beckham Jr., but I can't see him anything in other than LSU colors.
Fair.
My number 1 that I wish that I could just say went to Ole Miss just because the family is an absolute legacy. I wish Peyton Manning would have put on the red and blue.
Peyton would have went, no doubt Arch would have went.
Right.
Peyton,
And I know one of yours, but we can talk about that whenever you say it. Because I have like a reasoning for why I don't have some of the players that just
Fair.
anyways.
My number 1, and it kills me because he was close.
Yeah.
Poverty program. We're blue collar. We're honest men. This ain't no war dam over here. We're not doing illegal stuff. We win fair and square. But damn it if Cam Newton couldn't have strapped on the maroon and white. I mean, one of my honestly, and people know it that know me personally, never I'd say the last 3 years I've gotten into NFL a lot more with mainly just with fantasy leagues and being so into college now, following guys up. But man, Cam was, I mean, it was straight up wherever he went. It was almost a Braun type of deal. If he could have, I mean, he could have went anywhere. If he would have went to the Cowboys, he would have got traded to the Niners, the Eagles, why he was at the Panthers. Superman Cam was, I loved him. I go back and watch his games. I mean, unreal story. Also, the JUCO natty, the fact that he was on Florida, just watching Swamp King, seeing him get in the end zone for Florida was crazy. Like crazy ride, and then goes to Auburn, and I don't know. I would love to go down the list in that year how many teams that guy could have been on and won the national championship. Because not saying Auburn didn't have anybody, but Cam was the dude. Like he was the guy. So Cam's number one, high up for me. High up for me.
Yeah.
Gee, why do you know?
I just knew that was going to be your number one because you got like y'all didn't get him and it was a close recruiting trail deal. I don't feel like I know in recent history, at least not on a prospect that big or a player that big that Ole Miss has missed on. Like I know when the Kimdichis were coming up, it was like a big thing, and I remember getting them. And then like maybe Archie, we missed on Archie, but like there wasn't a player that came in, almost signed to Ole Miss, and then went and won a national championship the next year. You know what I mean? So like I feel like any state fan that knows football and knows the recruiting trail for this segment would say Cam Newton is their number one, undoubtedly, just because like you don't get a lot of chances like that. And the fact
there's
that
not
there's
many
a picture
players.
of him in like all over the internet, especially from state fans, whenever they play Auburn, of him and Davis Wade with the cowbell in his hand, like it was that close. I think when Ole Miss gets a big recruit like that, they just go ahead and sign. So I guess we don't have any pictures like that. But
You're not getting Cam. Cam Newton's not going to sit. Cam Newton ain't sitting in the ball.
But
Cam Newton ain't sitting down.
yeah, I not to my knowledge at least do we have any recruits like that, and I don't know if Z can speak to that for Georgia Tech, but yeah, I was just gonna say that as like obviously that would be your number one because I came at this at an angle of like who did we almost get, or maybe who could have helped us when we were really good. What position did we need to maybe take that next step and win the Natty or something? So I can lead into my number two if you want me to.
Yeah, roll with it.
So 2009, Dexter McCluster, probably one of my favorite times being an Ole Miss Rebel. I was just getting into football really big. I think Bubba knows it. Z knows it just because we talked about it a million times at like midnight at Union. Dexter McCluster, probably one of my all-time favorite players. Like if you would have got my iPod in 2010 or 2011, you could have gotten anything you wanted if you put in the passcode Dexter22 because that was my password to everything. It has since changed, so don't try to steal my information, guys. But I say all that to say Jevin Sneed, God rest his soul, passed away here recently, I think, in the last year or so. But I just didn't think he was the guy. We had Mike Wallace, who went on to have a great NFL career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had a good defense, and we had the Wild Rebel with Houston Nutt, and we had Dexter McCluster going crazy. And I just felt like if we had that pass thrower that was decisive, or just a good quarterback in general, Tim Tebow, obviously, we beat him that year, right? We beat Tim Tebow, the only loss that they had when they won the Natty. But I would have taken a throwing quarterback. So I say I would have taken Colt McCoy or Sam Bradford in that 2009 year.
I like it.
Respectable pick. Yeah, great. Good reasoning. Great pick.
I like it. Yeah, my number two kind of already got talked about, but Cam Newton. Cam Newton's obviously one of the best college football players of all time. Doesn't matter the position. So to have him on the flats at Georgia Tech, stay home in Atlanta, it would have just been crazy. Obviously, the option offense drove us away from, landing some bigger recruits and getting kids in Atlanta to stay and in the state of Georgia to stay, because especially quarterback-wise, wide receiver-wise, you don't want to run the option. Even though Demaryius Thomas was at Georgia Tech when we ran the option, he was a first-round pick and had a great NFL career. Rest in peace to him. But, yeah, Cam would have been crazy if we were running that typical spread offense at Tech and keeping him in Atlanta. Obviously, would have been special too. So Cam would have been great to see.
Dude, and just one more touch on Cam. Is there, like, how many guys were just as big and physical as he was, I don't feel like there's that many that you can really put in the boat saying, you know, he would have won X a championship. He would have won Y a championship. He would have won Z a championship. Like I feel like he's a true, like Tebow needed those other guys, I feel, in my opinion. Tebow's very skilled. And you got some running backs, like you mentioned, Reggie Bush. You know, you got to pair him with a half decent quarterback, in my opinion. Like the quarterback's got to be able to do it. And I just feel like there's so many teams that you could have threw Cam on and been like, that year they win it. That year they win it. That year they would have won it. As far as his year when he played.
Yeah.
My number two, just my style guy. I love him now. Loved watching him in college. Give me Derrick Henry toting the ball at Mississippi State. I just would love to see it. Freak of nature. Just his physique, the way he's built, a giant human being, and the fact that he can all of a sudden outrun everyone on the field just about. Maybe some DBs get close to him, but, you know, it's like a herd of – they would have to have 5 or 6 DBs in college to take down Derrick Henry, it seems. So probably just a little favoritism there. And, I mean, it's not like he's not good, but
Yeah, no.
just my style guy. Yeah, Derrick Henry is my 2.
You want me to start with the 3?
Yeah,
Go for it, brother.
All right. So I'm gonna take this pick and leave one on the table, assuming Cohy is probably gonna take it. And if he doesn't, I'll be flabbergasted, to be quite honest. Is your next pick a quarterback, Bubba?
Yeah, my honorable mention isn't.
Okay. Well, I know his honorable mention, I think. He had an Untold documentary come out not that long ago. If it's who I think it is. But anyways, we'll save that for later. I'm going to pick this next guy just off of pure entertainment. It's pretty recent, and I said that preface because how I'm describing it now, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's Johnny Manziel. But watching this guy in college, like I've never just turned on another school's game every weekend, just be like, all right, let me watch this. But Lamar Jackson, when he was in college,
Wow.
I didn't think you were – I thought I knew where you
so
were
fun to
going.
watch. No, because I know where Cohy's going. That's why I'm not.
No, I thought you were going Joe Burrow.
I did too.
Oh,
That's where I
no.
thought he was going.
No, he's fun to watch, but dude, Lamar, it was just straight entertainment. You just never knew what he was gonna do once that ball snapped back to him in the shotgun. Man, it was just like watching his battles with Clemson his junior year and his freshman year. Man, he was just super fun to watch, and I think I was one of the Lamar Jackson truthers going into the draft. I told everybody like, y'all have to believe in this guy just because I watched him so much, and now he's playing MVP caliber football when he's healthy in the NFL. So he's a super fun guy to watch. So yeah, it's my number 3.
Z, you know, I got to throw a little banter here. Lamar Jackson fit in great at Ole Miss because he lost his last college game.
I knew he was going to say that.
I mean, he had to. That one was just teed up. I had to. Lamar Jackson, no, that's an electric. That would, like, even if you lost football games.
Yeah, like it's just
fans watching, you'd be like, holy shit, like this dude's unbelievable.
Yeah, and even like a bad year, if you have Lamar Jackson on your team, you're at least going 9-3.
You're bad. You're bad with Lamar Jackson.
Right? Yeah. Like who cares?
Z-Dog.
Yeah, so my third, it may be a little surprise. It's from a few years back, but one of the most electric college football players that I think has ever stepped on the field. Best highlight tape I've ever seen. This was back when highlight tapes were just huge. Tavon Austin. This dude was something else, man. I mean, one of the most electric football players I've ever seen play in college. Run the ball, catch the ball, outrun anybody and everybody, punt return, kick return. I mean, this dude was just all over the place. All you had to do was put the ball in his hands, and he was electric. So to see him down at the flats, man, and just be able to watch him every Saturday, it would have been awesome.
My 3, GP knows me better than I know myself. I mean, this guy was just the personality fit me, everything. I mean, he's just as a college football fan, and when you were my age or like our age now, or even when you were in college, how could you not kill to have this guy on your team? Money Manziel, just a personality and a half, and to put the cherry on top, just a hell of a football player. And obviously, same boat as Lamar. Like you never know when the ball is snapped to him, you have zero idea what is going to happen. Then, you know, as he branched out a little bit. You had zero idea what was going to come on the mic. You had zero idea what was going to come Saturday night after he won a football game. Zero idea if he was going to be at practice Monday morning. So just a crazy man. And I think we got spoiled a little bit with Untold. It could have told us more, but got to see everything behind the scenes. And honestly, it just made it that much easier to put him at 3 over my honorable mention, which I'll go ahead and throw in there. This guy, it was
save your honorable mention because I got one now that since you said you had one.
All right.
Unless you just want to say it.
I want to say this to make sure you don't steal it.
Okay, go ahead.
This one was tough to keep out of my top 3. And this is just he's probably more up there on my favorite than Johnny. But as far as, I had to take 3 offensive players. The Honey Badger. I mean, I would have killed for him to be at Starkville.
That's
just
a good one.
Headhunter back when it was legal, and the definition of a ball hawk, right? Punt return, fumbles, pick, and then somehow it wasn't, oh, we got the ball back, let the offense go to work. It was, no, I got the ball. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to score a touchdown. Freak of nature, fun defensive guy. Love him. Love the Honey Badger.
That's a good one. That's another one of those that I think, like, just like how I was saying about Odell, like, I just can't even picture Honey Badger in another uniform.
Only
I know
7 golden.
happen,
Yeah.
but
Number 7 gold and purple only.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. But I've got an honorable mention just because Kohi said he was going to have one. And like I said, one of my favorite years of football, just because Ole Miss was so elite, was that 2009 year. But I remember being absolutely lulled to sleep by some murderous death ball from Alabama. And in 2009, it didn't matter what team it was, you could hand the ball off to Mark Ingram, and he could do absolutely anything to get into the end zone. And I think part of it is because I like him. He was a Saint, all-time leading rusher in New Orleans now, passing Deuce McAllister, who was an Ole Miss alum. But yeah, Mark Ingram, one of the most dominant running backs, at least in our generation, for sure. And now you don't see it as much because of how pass-heavy offenses are. They really made the switch after 2010. But, man, during that time, it was like if you had a good running back, you had a chance to do anything.
Z, any other ones you want to mention?
Yeah, I'll throw in an honorable mention. Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Julio Jones at Alabama was just a dog. He was obviously he was a Falcon. I'm a huge fan of his. But when he was at Tuscaloosa, man, I mean, he was just bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody who he went up against. It didn't matter if it was a quick throw, a slant, a deep ball. I mean, he could just go get it. And I mean, if you needed a play, you were going to Julio Jones. So just to, say that guy went to my school and got to watch him in my team's uniform, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would take any of the 12 we just named.
Yeah, definitely. There's some like Z just said, not even necessarily that I would just be dying to see play, but just to say like that guy went to my favorite school. Like old guys like Bo Jackson, like just imagine being an Auburn fan and be like, hey, Bo Jackson went to my school. Like
yeah, like I was gonna say like Ed Reed. Like
yeah.
Ed Reed went to Georgia Tech, like, and was just fucking decapitating dudes.
Yeah.
God.
Just a fact.
Or like, dude, one of my favorite 30 for 30s is that SMU, the 30 for 30, when Emmitt Smith and all those elite guys were there. Like
it's crazy now.
Just imagine going to SMU and you're like, yeah, Emmitt Smith went here. No, SMU is so irrelevant now.
That's what I'm saying. Our age, it's like you got to kind of look back a decade, like over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Southern Methodist was the home of elite.
Yeah.
This next activity was tough for me, dude. I needed it to be top 3, top 5 was tough.
But I got you, Bubba, because I wanted to make a change before I'll introduce it to the followers and then I'll let you
bring it out.
I wanted to switch for y'all the plane ride just because all of us, maybe Z, we're not super avid plane riders, so like it's not really a normal thing. I was gonna switch that with tailgate. Switch the plane with tailgate. But listeners, I saw this little trend, thought it was cool, and it's ranking places to watch a game. Feel free to comment to us and tell us what your list would be. But the 5 choices are, as I just said, a tailgate, a sports bar, in the stadium, at your rich friend's house, or at your house on the big screen. And it is a tough one. It is a tough one. But you guys want to go, or I guess we can all
drop our number 5.
Yeah, we can start our number 5. What's your 5?
I'll lead off. My 5 is it's just tough because that's where I'm going for week 1. And I was thinking how nice it is when I made this list. No, I'm not going. I'm not going to state game week 1. The rich man's house. It's nice, but like the only downside, like obviously the food and the snacks are all going to be acquired. He's going to probably provide drinks. Like this is where I'm week 1. My parents have a great friend who's high up at A&B at Olive Branch, not even higher than Uncle Randy, Joe, that you know him. This guy, awesome pool house that has like 8-seat bar, 3 TVs, fridge. A&B is a beer company. He's got all the beers. Like he provides everything: pool table, dartboard, golden tee. But it's like when you're there, you kind of got to stay on your P's and Q's, right? Like you can't get too loud. Can't be running inside placing bets. It's just you got to be a little bit sane, I guess you would say.
Z said, "Speak for yourself." No,
I mean, I don't. If the dog's on, then everyone now. I've been around long enough. I kind of everything goes out the window. But out of this list, I went 5 rich guy's house.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Scuba Steve, whose house I'm going to.
Scuba Steve.
I cannot wait to go. Thanks for the invite.
Shout out to Scuba Steve.
I don't want to retract my invitation with me renting the glass.
Z, you can rock it if you want to, brother.
Yeah, 5. I'm gonna go tailgate. To actually sit there and watch the game at the tailgate after you've already been out there hanging out, doing whatever you want to do at a tailgate. Just sitting there in a parking lot or in a field, just under a tent with one TV, outside. Can be fun, but just not out of these. I'm gonna go with that one, my least favorite.
I can respect that. I'll go. I'm gonna go rich friend's house as well, and this is my thing because I use this off of personal experience. Most of my close rich friends are Alabama fans. And when I go to their house, even if they are Ole Miss fans, even if they're State fans, whatever, you don't get remote control access. All right, you ain't getting to flip the channels however you want, And then on top of what Kohi said, you gotta act normal, or at least try to. You gotta be keeping company with everybody around, getting your little hors d'oeuvres. You gotta ask where the bathroom is. You gotta ask, can I get a drink? It's not. I can enjoy a rich man's house and go watch the game. Like this isn't because it's unenjoyable, but that's my number 5 out of these 5.
That's right. Hey, that was a great point too about the remote.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Got to have that remote control access, baby.
Yeah, need it. That my you want me to keep going?
Yeah, go ahead.
4 for me. Z made some great points. The tailgate, love tailgating. Right, States, the junction. People I know in there love it. Mingle around, get a little snack, have some drinks, have your little throwaway cooler so it can just ditch it when you go in the game. But that's my thing. If I'm at the tailgate, stadium's right there. I gotta go. I want to go in that stadium. Right. I don't want to. I'm watching the game. I'm hearing the roars right there when something happens.
You got that FOMO.
Yeah, it's kind of just that tease right there beside it. And then Z made a good point too, man. I mean, half of football in the South, you're talking about you're standing out in this tailgate 90 degrees. Hey, if I'm going to stand out 90 degrees, damn it, I better be in the stadium. So tailgate's 4 for me. Do love a good tailgate though. Tailgating's up there for my game day experience.
Yeah.
Not to watch the game. So 4 for me.
Yeah, so my 4th, I'm gonna go sports bar. Now, don't get me wrong here. I love a sports bar. Get the wings in you. Got the beer there. One downfall is it does get a little bit pricey.
Yeah.
So that is one downfall. I would put sports bar a little bit higher if it was thinking of it strictly NFL. Because if the Falcons play at 1:00 in Atlanta, I can go to the sports bar and the Falcons are on every TV, and I'm cool with that. You go during for a Saturday in college football season, you got the big games on, but then I got money all over the board. I'm having to ask people, can I get this game on this TV, this game on this TV? It's just a big hassle. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna go sports bar at number 4.
Fair.
Yeah, my number 4, I'm gonna go tailgate as well. And one thing people don't like to talk about, well, I'll say the Grove, obviously, like every time college game day comes to Ole Miss, first thing they got to talk about, there's chandeliers in the tents, catering everywhere. Like it's a great atmosphere, absolutely needed on a game day to get me in the right mindset. But you're right there next to the stadium, like Bubba said, you're hearing the roars, and people don't like to say TV always lags like 5 seconds. So you hear a roar happen, you're like, oh my God, what happened? Is it a pick? Is it a touchdown? Is it just a big play? Was it a bad call? I don't like that little 5 to 10 seconds of unknowing. I don't love that. Also, it's hot, once it gets now, if it's that perfect weather and I got my family at a tailgate, I'm happy. All right. But I'll jump into my number 3 and why they're so close after y'all go. So Bubba, go ahead with your number 3.
Hey, you can roll with 3 if you want to compare them.
Okay, my number 3 is the stadium, but this is why it's so low for me. I love being at a game. If Ole Miss is playing State, if Ole Miss is playing Bama, if Ole Miss is playing LSU, I love to be at a big game in the stadium. But if it's not that do or die game and my team isn't starting off the season 6-0, 7-0, I want to be able to watch other stuff. And not only that, sometimes just like they're throwing beer on me. I'm not the same type of fan as Bubba. Me and Bubba are not the same type of fan. We've been to many a live game together. But Bubba is going to be in a mode where he's already covered in beer and okay with getting covered in more. And I'm just not at that point. Now, I love to be in the stadium. Me and my dad had Ole Miss season tickets all while I was growing up. It was awesome. Wouldn't trade any memory for the world. But now that I'm older, to be able to sit in the air condition and watch what's going on close up, I'm saying that's what I like better. But I love a game day atmosphere, especially on a big game, and I love to go in the stadium. So if it's Alabama week, if it's LSU week, if it's Egg Bowl week, stadium's my number 1 for sure. But any other day of the week, it's my number 3.
It's fair. I love the reasoning. I love that everyone's got a reason behind it. My 3, the old sports bar, a little higher than Z. Z made some good counterpoints of why it's down there. You do got to get your TVs locked in where your money's at. The pricey does randomly just drill you at the end of the night, which can be dangerous. But if them TVs are lining up with your bets, who knows? You're gonna be looking at a free night at the sports bar, right? But I don't know. I like the vibes in a sports bar, and if it's really your spot, there's a Stagger Inn's the name of the restaurant in Starkville. Love it. 30 TVs, great food, pitchers of beer, cool little seating arrangement. I just like hanging out there all day, right? Guys are in and out. You got your 11 a.m. slate, 2:30, mix in some 3:30s to 6:30s. So love the sports bar. Also love sports bar food. I like that it's we're not ordering nothing big. We're just picking. We're doing whatever. Get a big table, all the boys. I like the vibes in the sports bar. So I'm going sports bar 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stadium. Stadium's gonna be my 3rd. Look, there's nothing like being in the stadium for the game and being in that environment and just soaking all that in and being able to actually be there in person and see it live. The only reason I'm putting it at number 3, not a little bit higher, obviously you're getting way better views on the TV. You're seeing every little thing. If you go to the stadium, it's kind of an all-day event. You obviously got to hit the tailgates. You got to get in the right mindset before you get in there. You got to eat some food. You got to, get that mind right before you walk in there. And then you're at the game. And then you got to get out of the stadium. Then you got to get back to the house before, you throw the next game on, catch a night slate. So depending on what time the game is, it's an all-day affair. You're missing a lot of games. But it's definitely something that, you mix in there, a couple times a year just to get in the stadium and see your boys play. But I'm going to put it at number 3.
G, you want to go 2?
Yeah, I'll go 2, and this one's probably a shocker to my co-host, but I'm gonna go number 2 sports bar. And the reason is I've gotten real comfortable in the sports bar with UFC every weekend. So like anytime there's a pay-per-view, I'll go to the sports bar, B-Dubs, wherever is hosting it. And I don't throw them back like my boys Kohi and Z either. So my tab is not super bad after. I usually save money. Like I don't have to pay. The pay-per-views are $80. I'm not having to pay anywhere near that to go watch the fights. And I like the atmosphere as well. Obviously, we're in Mississippi, so once we go in that sports bar, you know you're going to have fans from everywhere, especially a sports bar in Oxford. Like that's a fun. I would say that's my happy medium between the tailgate and the stadium, because like you get that stadium atmosphere because everybody's cheering, but at the same time you're not out in the heat and you're not having to deal with being right next to the stadium as well. But yeah, UFC has spoiled me with the sports bar. So I'd say that's probably why it's so high. I think if I wasn't such a big UFC fan, it probably wouldn't be as high. But sports bar, number 2 for me.
Man, my two, and Z did hammer this right. It is only probably 3 times a year for me, sometimes four when I stuff lines up right. But the older I get, it does fade on me a little bit. It's in the stadium, uh, but man, there's no way around it. That's the only full game you're watching, more than likely. You can catch maybe
Yeah.
first half of some 11 a.m.s because even if you play at 2:30, right, you got to get in line to get in. You're really trying to some drinks, so you don't have to go get as many drinks in the stadium, at least for me. So I'm trying to get a good buzz and not have to go get beers every 15, 20 minutes, however pace I'm drinking at that game. But the atmosphere for me in a stadium, being a state fan, the cowbells, a night game, the loud, the speakers, everything. I cannot. There's not like really the only way it's not one for me is because, like I said, I'm so in love with college football. The older I get, I want to watch the Michigan Ohio State that week, the Penn State, Michigan, USC, Utah, whoever's playing like those big games. It sucks missing them, but once I get in that stadium, it is kind of like, man, those scores will be there, those stats will be there. Who cares? I'm in the stadium, and more than likely, if I'm there, it's SEC game. Like those are the only games I go to now. I used to try to go to all of them. Usually would make them all, but now I will say that I'll give up stadium for the home opener this year, Southeast Louisiana. Like no, sign me up for week 1, 30 games. Not going to that one, but going to LSU, the Bama, the Egg Bowl wins and start. Well, those 3 big ones that I go to every year are just close to unbeatable for me. It's not my one, so I can't say it's unbeatable, but it's up there for me.
Well, it looks like we all have the same number 1, and I
How
kind
can
of
you not?
thought it was gonna. I thought it
What's
was gonna
these
get this
two?
one. Oh yeah, see.
What was
Is
your
it my,
two?
my turn? Yeah, my 2 is my house.
Oh, okay,
Ooh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, my two's my house. Obviously, it's good when you're chilling and your place to live in. You can do what you please. You know where everything's at. You ain't got to worry about nobody else. You can change the channels whenever you want. Food, drinks, whatever you may be, it's all yours. It's all there. So being comfortable, chilling at the house, on the couch, whatever it may be, watching your games that you want to watch. Nothing better. Nothing better.
G, you
But
want to
not
hammer?
my number one.
Yeah, we're saving your one for last because me and G got the same.
Yeah.
I was going to let G hammer some of his points of why his house is.
In my house is number 1 for me. Obviously, you can switch through games. I'm not a huge gambler, but I know that's a big part of it for you guys, being able to flip through and see what's going on. I know there's the ESPN app, but you want to see what's happening and how it's going to go later on, because you can kind of catch the feel of a game by watching it, see how it's going. But yeah, I mean, you can act a fool, you can act how you want, whatever food you want, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, and you don't have to just sit there and watch the game, which us 3, of course, that's what we're going to do if we're locked in watching our team. But if you got to pee, you don't got to walk all the way down the stands, walk in, like you just run to the bathroom, run back in, and you're back. So, and there's a sense of comfort in that as well in your house, or you can just, lay up there in your boxers and watch some old football.
Yeah, I think I would hammer it. Most of your points are obviously the same for me. But I enjoy being the host a lot of times. Like I
Yeah.
enjoy, Vic make a bunch of dips or make sliders, do all this stuff. I'm out there now that we've got a little watching spot. I'm making sure everything looks right. The neons are plugged in. The fridge is stocked. Like everything's laid out. Like I enjoy seeing the picture before anyone even gets there. And tough for me being an old 750 crispy boy cracking a college game day when I'm sitting my ass right there. That's been got it ready all. We did it
Dude,
last night. Everything's ready. Nothing. This is this is a free judge zone podcast. But when I'm a 12 pack in by noon and those 11 a.m.s are rolling and I'm just like Joe said, catching the vibe of a game, we're live betting freaking North Texas. Like let's just have a day. And then last year, State in Arizona, out in Arizona, kicked off at 9:30. And I've just looked back on it, man, like this is one of the best days I've ever had on the face of this earth. I've just spent at my house, and this has just been incredible. People have come and go. There's been visitors, there's been second time visitors, and I've just been here all day enjoying the moment.
I think that was one point that I didn't mention, and you mentioned it just for a second there is one of the reasons that I absolutely love watching at home is college game day. You just
Yes.
start your day out, you watch college game day, and then you just flip through everything that they've been talking about the whole day, throughout the day. And that's the thing about TV at home or maybe at a friend's house is it's an all day affair, but it's not just one game, it's everything. So yeah. I'll let Z hit his number one because I'm ready for this.
yeah, so great points there. Great points. Being the host is fun, you know, just getting those beers flowing, live betting. I mean, there's nothing like it. My number one is going to be at my buddy's house. Um, the dude's layout setup. I mean, there ain't nothing better, man. Um, been a best friend of mine since I was like 9 years old. Dude's got his own house on a big piece of land, just him and his wife. Um, got a big ass 3 car garage. Took one side, made it into a man cave. AC,
Hell yeah.
4 TVs in there, fridge stocked, bar stocked. We just DoorDash some food or whip something up on the Blackstone or the Traeger. He's got a guest bedroom for me no matter who comes. It's always mine. We're usually
Wow.
betting every single game. We watch every single
Yeah, I
game.
like this guy.
We're always on the same side. So if I want to change the channel, I grab the remote and I change the channel. I mean, it's just like I'm chilling at my house. It's just he's got 4 TVs and we're both sitting there. People come in and out, stop by, watch the games, and then we look at each other and it's 10:30, West Coast kicking off, and we're fucking sitting there shoulder to shoulder on the couch watching the game dialed in. So, I mean,
He's ready for that.
live betting, over unders. We get a whiteboard out, write all our bets down, see who had a better day. I mean, it's the best times of my life. I mean, it
Guys,
really,
on
yeah,
Spotify and Apple Podcasts, y'all can't see it, but my man Z is just glowing right now
man.
after describing that. So I'm
I
excited
mean,
for
dude,
him. I mean, that's
especially
some of the
you ain't got to
happiest
get
I've
up.
ever
You ain't
seen
got to get up
Z.
to go. You ain't got to get up to go to the bathroom. You walk outside the garage door, take a piss outside on his, 20 acres or whatever. Especially when it gets brisk, that fall weather. You're in
Yes.
there with a nice hoodie, chilling, man.
See, and Z's describing, and my setup is nowhere near that guy at all. But I'm saying when the weather's right, because I'm outside. But that's the thing. Like I've got my notebook sitting there. It's usually a couple buddies that bet the same as I do. Big ass TV, fridge right there, pisser around the corner in the yard. We live in the country. That's what it's. That's the days it's all about.
Man, it's all about it.
The food's right behind you, like you said. You order something, maybe cook it up. Like those days are just. You know what they are. You know what they are, Z. They're close. Those
They're
days are
close,
real
man.
fucking close.
And then with him, with my boy, we're both bigger NFL guys.
Yeah.
So we'll fucking wake up. His wife will usually make us something for breakfast, have a cup of coffee. We're out there NFL game day. I'll stay and watch probably the 1 o'clock slate before I take it back to the house.
That's
I mean, man.
this guy looking for friends. Is he looking for friends?
Oh, dude, this guy, man.
This
The
guy's
setup is
honestly
unreal.
my
I
role
mean,
model.
you got a full couch he's got double layers. You got a 65-inch, 240s, a 55 over the bar, a couch, 2 chairs, another full couch behind it, and a couch on the side, full bar, neon lights.
Yeah,
He's got a
this guy's
side
this
curtain.
guy's literally my role model.
He's got signed jerseys lined up on each side of the wall. Colts flags, Maryland flags. I mean, man,
Hey, y'all just wait till this fucking podcast takes off.
yeah. And I helped him build the man cave, so it was like, especially that first year, we made sure we got it built, ready to go. Before week 1, like 2 or 3 years ago, we were staying in wood, hanging everything up. So that was even better, sitting in there when, finished product after you're fucking in
Yeah.
there all night.
Seeing it
But
come together is the key.
oh man, it's there's nothing like it, man. And I got a week 1, I'm at a wedding. Week 2, I'm at Joe's wedding. So
You're gonna be a
can't
little
get in
hard.
there, can't get in there till week 3. But man, I'm gonna be at his doorstep, ready
So
to
you're
go.
gonna have some bottled up energy for week
Oh
3.
yeah, I'm gonna be ready to rock.
Z, I don't know what it was, but when you said cup of coffee with NFL Sunday kickoff, something just like chill just went through my back, man. I love a good cup of coffee watching a pregame with the Dudez. I
Nothing.
mean,
There's nothing when you hear that Fox jingle. You're getting ready to go. You're
that
wired.
coffee's about halfway done. You can still smell the pot making more.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's
There's
almost
nothing better than that. And then you're chilling, watching the rest of the games, get some dinner in you. The next thing you know, Sunday night football jingle comes on. And man,
Halftime, you're off the spread by 20. You're checking out Monday night's line. Got to get
man,
back. Tuesday's payday to the bookie. I got to bounce back.
man. It's the
We're
time of my
so
life.
close.
There's nothing
We're
better
in
than
a
football.
spot.
Man.
When girls say, I don't get their obsession for this, right? I don't get what they have in this. This is it.
This is all I got, man.
Like I can't think of a better weekend than what we just described.
There's nothing better. Nothing better. And
Honestly,
my girl's gotten better. She'll watch all the Falcons games with me. Saturdays it's a little tougher, she doesn't want to sit there, watch me drink all day and gamble. That's not her two favorite
yeah, it
activities
doesn't
that I
exactly
do,
get them
but
going. Yeah, I agree.
you know, well, I try, mix in some time, get up a little early, maybe go get breakfast or something. Then hey, look, she knows Saturdays I can be a little more lenient. A little more, depending on the slate. If it's a good slate, it ain't happening.
Right.
But she knows every given Sunday, it's Dirty Bird Sunday. I ain't doing nothing.
See, and
yeah,
I think that's my
I
best
watch
now.
every snap of the ball and nothing. Pre-game, everything. You ain't
Yeah,
getting me. I ain't moving.
once they come around and once they just give you your day, or whatever, which mine is Saturday. And honestly, Sunday, Vic's a lazy Sunday, so it works out.
yeah.
But she has gotten out. She loves hosting, like the pottery, laying it out, making all the stuff. She enjoys that. So she likes Saturday. People want to come out on Saturday more, don't have work the next day.
Yeah.
But she knows when my ass hits that couch out there, it's a wrap. I'm not asking her to make me a plate or nothing, but she knows I'm not leaving. That Roku remote's not leaving my pocket, and that notebook's not closing until about 12:30. And we're just locked in. That's just what we do. It's part of it. Just give me my 14, 15, 16 Saturdays and just accept it. She knows. She tries not to communicate about I'd say an hour pre-kickoff and an hour post fourth quarter. She knows those are she peeks in, sees the score of the Dogs. Last year Kentucky game, I think we didn't talk for probably 5 days. I'd say that's the worst it's been.
Bubba knows Maddie's family's big state family, so she's kind of grown up in college football. So we're a house divided, but we're cordial every Saturday. And then I've converted her to a Saints fan. So on Sunday, it's time to come watch the Hoodats beat the Falcons. Ain't that right, Z? Come on, baby.
It ain't happening.
Hey, fun pod right before college football, honestly.
I love it, man.
That was good.
Fun pod. We couldn't hammer week 0 as hard as we could have been losers and just dove into San Diego State's right tackle and why he's a 5th-year senior and why he's going to change that game, but it's just not going to happen. All right, it's just not going to happen.
I'll probably watch the first quarter of the Notre Dame game just because I'm excited to see Sam Hartman.
Oh
yeah, I'm gonna see what they look like. Yeah,
yeah, it's not going to be just a loss.
Hey, you never know what can happen though. It could be
close.
close.
Yeah,
it could be close for a little bit.
Respect the fucking troops. Simple as that.
They can
Don't
run the
fight
ball
ball.
down your throat and hold on to the ball and work some clock. You know, it
Dude,
could,
no, are they? They're moving away from the triple option, aren't they?
uh-uh.
Or is it Army that's moving away from it?
Yeah, I think
Maybe
it
still
was
running
one of
option.
them. Somebody's
Dude,
schemes.
I don't know, but like I know Z didn't like when Georgia Tech was triple option, but playing if you're a big team and you play a triple option team, dude, it's scary.
They respect the
It's
truth,
scary.
but if you're a P5, there's no reason you should ever look forward to playing Navy, Army, or Air Force. Don't look forward to it because don't circle for damn sure. Don't circle a win. You better
Dude. And those are freaking soldiers. They know how to run that stuff. Like they're freaking to a T running it perfectly. So you better pack your lunch pail and get ready for a hard day of work, D lineman. Because it's gonna be a tough one.
Hey, next week I'm not gonna say it'd be more fun, but we'll have a more structured slate of games. We'll talk some real ball. Looking forward to it. Z, I'm sorry you don't get to this house till week 3, but stay conserved. Uh, hey, Z, though,
I do want
we
Joe
get
to
week 2 together.
Joe. I mean, this will be no disrespect to you, but I'll have money floating around, brother.
That's fine.
Maybe during the dinners, you know. Obviously not during the reception. You know, you got to have some respect. But you know, me and Kohi may be peeking around at some
Dude.
scores. You know,
Hey, if you gotta hop over, if you gotta have your phone under the table, if you gotta hop off the dance floor for a second, you know it's no problem in my book.
Z, we
You
don't
got
let them fuck around and bring the AirPods, and we got one in each ear.
you gotta leave early and
late against Bama.
I got to
you
get to
gotta
the.
leave early and go to Tunica. Hey, it's all part of the plan.
If Tunica has a
Man.
sports book, that's not a horrible idea.
Yeah. Hey, we got Texas Bama at 6:30, night of Joe's wedding.
Yeah. Huh.
We're ready.
What time's the wedding?
Well, the reception is at 5:30.
He doesn't know any of these questions.
Yeah. I have
No, well,
the thing sitting right here too.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, no, we'll be there. We'll be locked in for you.
Boom.
Honestly, let's just ask questions on here because I don't want to text you, Joe. What time am I need to be somewhere Saturday?
Probably early in the morning.
But I'm going to the place.
Yes. So I'll cut this out. I won't be able to cut it out probably on YouTube. I'll try to figure it out.
All right, YouTube. Hey, YouTube, join. Joe's
So
getting
the
married.
wedding, since it's at
Stop recording.
Catholic wedding, can I do that? I can do that. Hey, guys, done recording.
Send us off, G.
Happy football. We're almost there. Stop.